This isn't sponsored, by the way. Hey guys, it's Haley. Welcome to another vlog. Hey guys, thanks for coming back for another vlog. Today we're going to be talking about the plant paradox. I know if you've seen my other videos, you've heard me talk about this a lot already, but I figured I would break it down and explain it for you because I didn't go into too much detail on any of the videos yet, and it is something that I swear by, so I figured I would explain what it is and how I heard about it and how it has helped me. So if you've seen my other video, you probably know some of this, but I'm going to go way more in depth about the plant paradox and the book, and I hope you guys like it. So I have everything typed up on my computer, so if I'm like looking over here, you know why. So just to get started, this is the plant paradox, the book. I have the hardcover. I don't think there's a not hardcover, a soft cover, and there's an ebook too. This is by Dr. Stephen Gundry. It's subtitled "The Hidden Dangers in Healthy Foods That Cause Disease and Weight Gain," and that kind of explains it all in one sentence. End of video. No, just kidding. The main theory behind this book is that a lot of healthy foods that we're eating every single day are actually harming our bodies because of lectins. That's the big word. So, lectins are basically, in the simplest terms, proteins found in fruits and vegetables, in the seeds and the skin, that are the plant's way of protecting against predators. So a plant doesn't want to get eaten. They have lectins to protect themselves, so when an animal will ingest these lectins, it'll attack their system and make them sick or die or whatever. And so the theory behind the plant paradox is that these lectins are in a lot of the foods that we consider healthy, and we're eating them, and it's attacking our system and causing leaky gut syndrome, causing a lot of havoc on our guts. The gut controls a lot of our overall health, our skin, our digestion, and a lot of other things. So if we have issues in there, then we're going to have issues elsewhere. The plant paradox at the beginning explains lectins. It explains all the science behind it. And then a third of the way through, it starts to talk about the diet plan or the lifestyle change that you have to make in order to heal your gut from all these lectins that we've been consuming for so long. Another thing to note is that not everyone is as sensitive to lectins as someone else. So for me, I've had a lot of success following this plan, and so I probably have a higher lectin sensitivity than somebody else who doesn't have any symptoms of it or doesn't have any success with this plan. It's hard for me to believe that somebody would not have any results from it, but I don't know. And how the plan actually works is it's a 6-week plan to heal your gut. And in the book it says that it takes 6 weeks for you to completely change the microbiome of your gut and to heal yourself. So that's how long the plan is. There's 3 phases in it. Phase 1 is a 3-day cleanse. The word cleanse is often misconstrued, and you'll think of like a juice cleanse or starving yourself, but really the idea of this cleanse is to change your, in the book they say gut buddies, but to change the bacteria in your gut from the ones that crave refined carbs and the ones that are causing these lectins to kind of wreak havoc on your body. You want to get rid of those and replace it with the good gut buddies that you would get from probiotics that help your system flourish. And so to do this, you spend 3 days priming your body and eating really, really intentionally and staying away from specific foods in order to do that. So the 3-day cleanse, you would eat no dairy, no grains, no pseudo-grains, no fruit, no sugar, no seeds, no eggs, no soy, no nightshade vegetables. And nightshade vegetables are tomatoes, eggplants, sweet potatoes, so you don't want to eat those, and you don't want to eat any farm animal meat. But that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But a lot of those you can add back in after the 3 days, so you're just not eating those for 3 days. But what you are eating is, you can have fish, chicken, a ton of vegetables. There's a whole list, which I'll talk about later. but it's mostly Brussels sprouts, leafy greens, cabbage, spinach, broccoli, asparagus, celery, onions, mushrooms, herbs. You can have oils, you can have olives, you can have nuts, avocados. So there's a ton that you can eat, but there's also a ton that you can't eat. The one thing that the book really holds on to is the fact that it's more important about what you don't eat and what you don't put into your body than what you do. So as long as you stick to the no list, you will be good. The book also has a meal plan, so I'll actually read something from the meal plan for day 1. So for day 1 on the cleanse, you would have for breakfast a green smoothie. I love the green smoothie. I still have it almost every single day. It's really, really good. It's very, very healthy, and it's so tasty. For snack, you would have romaine lettuce boats filled with guacamole. Pretty easy. I love guacamole, so it's good. And then lunch, an arugula salad with chicken and lemon vinaigrette. Obviously I'm vegan, so I don't eat chicken, but I would have tempeh or a cauliflower steak, as they call it. And then another snack of the romaine lettuce boats filled with guacamole. And then for dinner, you would have a cabbage kale saute with salmon and avocado. And so that's just a sample day on the cleanse. So then, once you get through your 3 days, you will already notice a huge difference, because that's your gut buddies are already changing, and you're starving out the ones that are craving refined carbs and the ones that are really harming you. You're nourishing the ones that are helping you. So after the 3-day cleanse, you go on to phase 2. So phase 2 is your 6-week, they call it the repair process. And so you can add in a lot of the foods you couldn't eat on the cleanse. You can have meats, you can have dairy, you can have eggs, you can have some pseudo grains, but you mostly want to stay away from all of the things that are on the no list. So you're adding in more food, you have more options, but it's really important how they are sourced. So another major part of the book that they try to drive home is that you are what your food eats. So if you're going to eat animal products, you want to know that it's not from a farm that raises their animals on corn or soy or any of the things that you wouldn't eat, because if your chicken, say, eats soy and corn, and then you eat that chicken, you're also eating the soy and the corn. So you're eating everything down the food chain. And so you just want to be careful about that, because for some people who are really, really sensitive to lectins, that has an effect on their body as well. So anyway, phase 2, you're following the yes and the no list for 6 weeks. And it's really not super difficult, because there are so many options you can have. For me, the hardest part as a vegan was I was eating a lot of peppers, oats, beans, rice, tomatoes, a lot of vegetables that have lectins and are really, really lectin heavy. And so as soon as I stopped eating those, I saw results, but I really had to shift my diet into other vegetables. So I eat a lot of Brussels sprouts, I eat a ton of spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, and there's a lot more. But I just had to shift my veggie intake to other vegetables instead of the ones I was eating before. And so after your 6 weeks, your gut is supposed to be healed, and you will already have seen a ton of good results. Then you will move on to phase 3. But if you don't think you're ready to move on to phase 3, like if you're using this as a weight loss tool, you haven't lost all the weight that you want to lose, you would just continue to stay on phase 2 for however long until you've reached your goal, or until you're ready to move on to phase 3. So it says 6 weeks because that's when your gut will be healed, but you can continue on if you have more goals that you haven't reached and you want to speed up the process. So on phase 3, it is the lifestyle phase. So the lifestyle phase is exactly how it sounds. It's making this into a lifestyle. Throughout the book, Dr. Stephen Gundry is really hard on lectins and food with lectins. He says, don't eat it ever. It's really bad, but it is unrealistic to never eat these things again. And they do have a lot of vitamins and a lot of other healthy parts to them that are really good for you. So it's not a permanent removal of these foods from your diet. It's just for long enough to heal your gut. And so after your 6 weeks or however long you stay on phase 2, you go to the lifestyle phase and you start to reintroduce foods with lectins. So you'll add back in tomatoes or oats or whatever you want to add back in, and you do it slowly. So maybe for the first week you add in tomatoes and you eat that and see how your body reacts. And if you have a negative reaction to it, don't eat it. If some of your old symptoms come back, you know to keep that out of your diet permanently, or eat it as little as possible. But you add in these lectin-heavy foods that were previously on the no list and see how much your body can handle. And it does say to use moderation in this. You don't want to just eat a ton of tomatoes, or in my case, eat an entire jar of Costco salsa all at once. I could do that, but I don't. You just want to make sure you're careful and you're listening to your body, because you don't want to just fall back into your old ways and ruin your gut and ruin everything that you have worked for. So those are the 3 phases. Like any diet, you're not meant to stick to it forever. You're meant to go back to moderation, a normal way of eating. So that's obviously just an overview of the book. He shares success stories throughout the book from patients that have followed this plan with all sorts of different disorders. A lot of them have thyroid issues, other hormonal imbalances, nut allergies. There's a ton of success stories in it, so I definitely recommend reading it. And I would recommend it to people who have any sort of autoimmune disease, PCOS, which is why I used it, anything with thyroid, any issue with your gut. One of my best friends actually has a candida issue that she just found out about, and so she's going to be following this, and we'll see how that goes. It's definitely worth trying if you have any issues, any sort of autoimmune issues or any symptoms of that, because although it sounds extreme and radical and it's like, no, there's no way, it's all made up, maybe, but it worked for me. I had a great story. If you haven't seen my other video about how I cured my PCOS naturally, check that out. I'll go into more details. But basically, I've struggled with PCOS since I was in high school, where I wouldn't get my period for a very long time, and I would just kind of get it randomly. And I went on the Plant Paradox last summer, and it cured me. I get my period every month. I'm a lot healthier. I lost the weight that I was never able to lose before. So it's really worked wonders on me, and I swear by it. I recommend it to all my friends with any issues, and so now I'm sharing it with you. But I will put links to the yes and no list, to Stephen Gundry's website, and you can read a little bit about it yourself. If you have any more questions about it, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or in the comments, and I will be happy to answer them if I can. But I definitely recommend getting the book and trying it out for yourself to see what results you can get. That's all for today. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram. My next video is going to have some recipes from this, so if you are intrigued and want to see what I eat, then check that out. And thanks for watching. Peace out.